right, well, it's 11:30 probably. We got a couple more folks showing up here. I will drop off screen. Welcome. Thank you, Isaac, for presenting. And yeah, looking forward to hearing what you have.
Good to see you again there, Jeff.
You too.
Thanks for the intro.
Thanks.
Well, good afternoon. My list says we have Rebecca. So good afternoon or good morning, Rebecca. This morning I wanted to share with everyone a lovely experience with drones. We're going to be flying some drones virtually and simulated. We're going to be flying one of these here Tello drones in a simulator from Droneblocks. It's pretty awesome, and you get to code the drone to fly. So I want to give you a chance to try out the interface this morning and see what it looks like. So this will take two steps. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you what it looks like and go through a couple of the steps. And then the second step will be I'll show you how to get there yourself, and you'll be able to actually try it. So let me share my screen here. All right, so after you follow the link that I'll give you, it'll take you right here to this page, and what we have here is a weird looking line, and it's like, where do you put something? Well, right here, right above this thin black line is where the password goes. It'll be Droneblocks 2020, and then we click confirm, and we're into the interface here. So it is very similar to pretty much any other block coding program you may have experienced, and if you haven't, that's okay. I will show you what to do. So we have a pretty detailed interface with lots of things to do, and it might be a little confusing. There are green buttons across the bottom that are important. The first one I like is this middle green button called toggle grid. I turn it off. Default is to come with it on, and I prefer to have it off because I can see the drone better. If you're working on a tablet like an iPad, you might have trouble moving the view around, but if you're on any kind of other laptop or computer, then you'll be able to move it around with your mouse. If you click and hold with the left button, you can move it around one way, and if you click and hold it with the right mouse button, you can do it a different way. You can kind of see what that's doing. I'll let you play to see what that looks like. You can, if you're using a trackpad, it's either one finger click or two finger click, depending on what you want to do. All right. The other one that is really, really, really important here is the reset. Every time that you've finished your mission and you want to start back from the beginning, you're going to reset the Tello. You're going to want to know about the mute button because that sound will become quite frustrating after a while because it's a drone and drones are frustrating. They're great when they're flying away from you, but they're not so great when they're right in your face. They make that horrible angry bees noise. All right. Those are most of the buttons. You can toggle the view full screen and watch your drone fly around. So that might be something that you could do. All right. And then the last button is toggle ring, but we're going to save that one for later. All right. Over here, we've got some buttons here. This puts you back in the middle of your code. This lets you zoom in. That lets you zoom out. When we have code here, that'll make more sense. And then we have a trash can to throw it away. We have the triple hamburger menu right here at the top middle. And we can name our mission if we wanted to. I don't tend to do that. We have new mission and we have launch mission. And both of those we're going to use quite a bit today. All right, launch mission, when we get ready to fly, that's where it is. But I want to warn you, be careful not to accidentally click new mission or you'll be sad. I've done that before and it is frustrating. Moving along the top, we've got an altitude indicator for our simulated drone, so we know it's simulated altitude, and a battery. And yes, when you take off and fly, the battery will run down. And the saddest part for me is that when the battery runs down, it goes into the negative. It doesn't crash. I thought it would be better if it actually crashed, but it does not crash. If you run out of battery, your drone should crash. That's how it should be. Or it should at least auto land, right? That's what we expect them to do. But no, it just sits there. I got it down to negative 4,000 something % when I forgot to turn it off the other day. So, All right, and now we're down to these here menus along the side. I don't want to spend too much time with the complicated part, the logic, the math, the variables, or the functions. Those you can play with all on your own on another day. But for today, I want to show you the takeoff menu has two different choices. Let me hopefully make that bigger. Oh, let's make it lots bigger. Takeoff menu, there we go. When we pull out, you can take off after 5 seconds, or you can take off right away. And you just pull out and snap it. And just like putting Legos together, every time you pull something out of a menu, you can snap it together like Legos. I got all kinds of options here in the navigation. I'm going to fly forward 20 inches. I'm going to shrink it maybe just a little. Y'all tell me if it's too small in the chat there. So there's my code that I'm starting right now. And I'm going to snap it on just like a Lego. Navigation, fly forward, fly backward. And let's do curve. Curve is pretty cool. You'll see what that one does, and you can manipulate it. Challenge for you to make a complete circle, because that does a half of one. You'll see. Fly to X. That means fly to a certain spot. If I turn the grid back on, all of these little spots where the grids connect, that is what this one is about, and you can figure out where that goes. These units are in inches, and each one of these squares is also in inches. So kind of an interesting thing there. All right, so fly to X, that's fly to a certain spot. The next one is loops. Loops are pretty cool. When you pull a loop out, if you've never done it before, anytime you put something inside this loop command, it'll repeat it the number of times you have highlighted. So to do loops, let's go back and do flip. So I'm going to flip forward, and we'll flip left 3 times. So now within that loop, that's what it's going to do. And last but not least is land. Again, if you don't land, it's just going to let's just stay there and run the battery down into the negatives. All right, so there it is. There's a whole program. And here's my drone. I think it's ready to go. Let's go ahead and fly it. Launch mission. Oh, you can hear the sound. I'm going to mute it so we don't get super annoyed. Fly forward. Fly backward. It's going to curve, and it does half a circle. So figuring out how to complete that circle is a good challenge. It's going to fly to a certain spot. It's going to flip forward, flip left. Flip forward, flip left. It's doing that loop. And it's going to have you land. All right. That's pretty sweet, I think. And again, it's this drone right here, a little Tello drone, just like that, and it flies forever. All right, 95%. So I click reset. It sets me back to 0, and I can do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you how to get there, and then give you a chance to code and fly for a little bit. And once you've done that, then I will give you a challenge. All right. So if you'll look here at the screen, you can see this QR code. If you are going to use an iPad for this, which can be a little bit harder actually, you can scan the QR code. I don't recommend using a phone. It does not work as well. If you are on any other device and you want to type in the address, I've given you a shortened address here. It is is.gd/Droneblocks, a pretty short URL there. Once you get in, again, it's going to give you that pop-up asking for the password. Just click on it. It's all lowercase letters, Droneblocks 2020, and it is it should let you in. If you have trouble, I am watching the chat, so please do feel free to put any concerns in the chat. This is where I would do my Creative Commons elevator music. All right, Denny. Yeah, you should have access to it later with that same link and password. It's pretty cool. If you get the app on your tablet or device, the actual Droneblocks app, and you get one of these Tello drones, you can fly it for real and do the same thing. You can use the same program in the simulator and in real life. So pretty cool. I'm looking at the clock. It's 11:40. I'm going to give you till 11:45 to play, and then I will give you a challenge. A link for the Teledrones. I suppose so. Yeah, they've got them on Amazon. Let me find you one. There's an Amazon link for you. I like Telos. They're pretty cool. I've heard that Droneblocks is trying to work on other drones. I've never tried it with other kind. Just these little guys. It's a good starting point for learning to program drones. I actually use an app called DJI Ground Station Pro. It doesn't use block coding, but it gives you the same idea of programming the drone and letting the drone fly autonomously. I've also used Litchi, which is a pretty neat app. And Litchi is a cool app because it allows you to program specific actions of the drone when it goes to places as it flies. It's pretty awesome. Pretty sturdy. Yes, I would say they're pretty sturdy. I mean, we have a pile of them over here that we have completely destroyed from banging into the wall and crashing way too many times. But I'd say full blast into the wall, hit the ground, and it'll probably pick right back up and fly again. You get to your 20th or 30th crash, it might start thinking a little fuzzy, but overall, I'd say they're pretty sturdy. Telos are my favorite beginner drone, specifically because of how sturdy they are. Oh, well, good morning, Z. I'm sure you have crashed them a few times. I myself have crashed them a few times. So, but haven't crashed any of the big expensive ones yet, thankfully. Well, not a major crash. So I like the Telos. I really, really, really want to get my hands on a Mavic Mini. I haven't had a chance to play with one of those yet. They look pretty good. I like those a lot. I'd probably, if I had the opportunity, I'd probably spring for the Mini 2, Jeff, just because they've got that one extra minute. Oh, Jeff, you're a nice guy. That would be awesome. The Mini 2 has that extra minute of flight time. It's got triple the range, even though you can only fly line of sight. And it's also got the 4K camera on it. So that would be my second level choice for a beginner drone, actually. The only reason why Tello is better is because they're cheaper. If you crash them, it's not as big a heart attack as if you do the little ones. So take about one more minute and see how your codes are doing. And then I'll give you all a challenge. It'll be pretty good. So, have you tried any of those programming softwares, Jeff, like Litchi or Ground Station Pro? I spent 15 or 20 bucks to get Litchi, and it is cool. It is really, really cool. Ground Station Pro is free, but it only works on iPad, which is kind of a weird thing. You cannot get it on Android. At least you couldn't last I checked. Litchi in the chat. So I really like that one. Yep. I wonder, I don't even know if it's compatible with the minis or not. They're generally for those, you know, bigger ones, the Phantoms and the Mavics. So anyway, all right, it is 11:45, and I want to go ahead and take you back to Droneblocks and give you an opportunity to try a challenge. I'm going to take my entire code stack here, throw it away, and I'm going to turn on the rings. If I toggle the ring layout, bam, there's my rings. If you're on an iPad or other tablet and cannot move this around, I recommend ring layout 1. If you're on a computer with a mouse or a trackpad and you want to try some of these other ring layouts, you're more than welcome. They're pretty awesome. You can try more than one. You can see they get kind of more challenging. But for the sake of everyone here, I will start with ring layout number 1. And here it is. They're all pretty much close together. You can see. And as we, oh, I forgot, zoom in and zoom out is a pinch on a trackpad and on the mouse. I'm using my roller bar. I can zoom out. I forgot about that one. All right, so the goal is to take the drone and fly it through all 5 rings. And if you get really, really, really good before the end of the session, maybe you get it all the way back to the origin point without using the drone or without using the reset button. But reset for the battery is definitely important. All right, so I'm going to go through a trial and error process here and just try it out and see how I do. I'm going to start off with takeoff, of course. And I happen to know that takeoff goes quite a bit of distance into the air when it first goes. So once it takes off, I'm going to ask it to fly forward. Let's just leave it at the 20 inches. We'll change it here in a minute and see what happens. I'm going to fly forward 20 inches, and let's see how close I get to that first ring. All right, here he goes. Up, up, and away. Oh, it fell short. Look at that. I don't know if you've noticed. You might notice on my next try that each of these blocks highlights when that is the block being used. So you can keep track of where you are in your program. That's a new feature they've introduced in the last couple of months, where you can actually see what part of the program you're in. Okay, so flew forward, not enough. I'm going to move around. Oh, to get through that ring, I got to go straight. So I'm just going to double this, go 40 inches, and we'll see what that does. And then I know that to get to my next ring, I'm going to have to move left and move up before I go forward. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. I'm going to fly up 20 inches. Oops, I need that left, but in a minute. Fly up 20 inches. We're going to fly left 20 inches. I'm just leaving them there because just looking at it, it's hard for me to tell. So a little bit of trial and error, and I'll adjust my numbers. And then fly forward 20 inches. Let's see where that gets us. Does that get us through that first ring and the next one? I'm going to reset. I'm going to launch mission and mute. All right, let's see what it does. Come on, get through that ring. Hey, oh, we are so close. It's hard to tell. It kind of didn't quite make it through the ring. And then it went high enough, but it went, okay, so what, didn't go far enough to go through it. So I have to maybe shorten this leg, lengthen this leg. I definitely got to lengthen that leg. All right, so let's try it out. The fly up was too much, so I'm going to change that to 10 inches. The fly left was a bit much. I'm going to change that to 15 inches. Fly forward 40 here is not enough. I'm going to go 45 maybe to get it right through that ring. And then to fly through the bottom one, I've definitely got to go at least 30 inches. All right. And I'm just making those numbers up, a little bit of trial and error. All right. Reset. Launch mission. Hopefully I'll get through it this time. Booyah. I got through that ring. And now it's moving. Ah, still fell short of the ring. Let me do 45 here. I'll do it one more time, and then I'm gonna let you do it. All right, here we go. Oh, I gotta reset. Reset the mission. Now we'll launch it. Get through that ring. Get through that ring. Yeah, there's one. There's two. There you go. Yeah, look at that. Like bullseye, double bullseye. All right, I'm on it. Okay, so there's my code that I started with, but I don't want to code anymore because I don't want to give it away. If you're using a different ring layout, then it doesn't matter. Your code has to be completely different. If you're using the same one as me, well, I'm just going to leave that up there for you to look at as a starting point. You're welcome to give it a try. I'm going to go back here in case you didn't get a chance to log in. There it is. And you can, let me see if I can actually pop that out, make it smaller. You can maybe see both. There we go. And you can see my code and you can see the login information. There you are. Give you a few minutes. If you'd like to, there is a button in the top right hand corner that says share audio video. If you've created a program that you'd like to share with us, I invite you to do so. You're welcome to show us what you've got. The drone that I fly the most right now is a Phantom 3 from down here at the Brain Exchange. It's a pretty sweet machine. I really, really, really like it. That's my go-to when I'm doing disaster relief and damage assessment for the Dodge County Emergency Manager, and done quite a few flights with that thing. It's pretty awesome. I did just recently get myself a Phantom 4, and I'm just scratching the surface of flying that one. You'd think they would be the same, but they just aren't. That Phantom 4 is light years more complicated, not harder to fly, but just more options, and really, really, really enjoy it. So I have a lot of things that I want to work on this summer. I'm totally into mopeds, so I want to try the follow me mode with that Phantom 4 and follow myself with the moped. That might be fun. Do an orbit of myself flying the moped. That would be cool too. Drones are an awesome thing. I'm really interested in getting into some building inspections. Yeah, there's careers with flying drones with building inspections. A lot of people are using the infrared or the night vision, the infrared, the heat vision cameras that are on some of those models, the higher end models, but they can find where there are leaks in your roof using the heat camera, as well as finding termites and rotten wood in your structure. So pretty neat inspection process. There are lots of jobs in the next coming decade with drones. I know that last summer, actually, they were advertising for a job out at Valmont, and Valmont wanted to hire a drone pilot. So I'm not sure exactly what they do, but they had quite a few lists of qualifications for inspections things that they wanted you to be able to do with a drone. But lots of fun things to learn with drones. So I'm hoping that there are a lot of people really, really busy with this drone simulator. It's gotten quiet. I feel like I'm talking to myself. If I could see one of you flying it, then I could do like the play-by-play. I think that'd be really cool. The drone flies up, it goes forward, goal right through the ring. Anyway. All right. Well, we're about down to 5 minutes left of our session. I wanted to give you an opportunity once again to choose to share. If you'd like to share your code, you're welcome to do that. In the top right-hand corner, there's a share audio and video button. You could totally do that and present your screen and show us your code if you'd like. Yeah, that's so true, Miss Z. I don't know why you haven't sent me a video of that. I totally want. Haven't figured out the camera function on the telos yet. That was something that they were talking about the other day. I think that'd be super cool. But send me a video of somebody hitting a hoop. I'd love to see that. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything I could. I don't know it all, but I've seen a thing or two. Something I wanted to bring up for those of you who are aspiring drone pilots but aren't ready to go and take that Part 107 professional drone pilot test. There are still rules involved in flying drones outdoors. You can fly them without a license. You are allowed to do that. There are rules about that. There is a course that you can take from DroneUp called the Responsible Community Pilot. That's a pretty good course. It gives you a certificate, and the course teaches you some of the basics that you need to know about flying drones safely and what you can and cannot do legally with your drones. So that's a good way to go. Also, you can look into the Academy of Model Aeronautics. They've got information about radio control airplanes and as well as drones, and they can teach you some of the things about what those rules are as well. So lots of opportunities out there with drones to learn to fly and to learn to do camera work. Pretty neat stuff. Yeah, I haven't yet shared the video of it yet, Miss Z, but I got some awesome shots of your school with the drone last fall, and pretty neat stuff. And I didn't find any raccoons at all. I actually want to go back out there and use the better drone. We flew it with Spark, which is no longer available, and unless you get it on maybe eBay. But Spark is okay. It's like a Mavic Mini, but way heavier. I like the Mini idea much better. But the Phantom 4 or the Phantom 3 would make for a much better product there. Pretty cool. Maybe if I had one of them infrared cameras, I could find the raccoons. I don't know. For those, yeah, maybe they will. For those of you still coding, maybe throw in a special flourish at the end before you land. Get it to flip before you get there. Flips are pretty thrilling. Yeah, don't miss that. Journey of a Roboticist. Oh, my battery. Oh, it did auto land. They changed it. It got down to 10%. Did you see that? My battery's down to 10%, and look at that. It actually auto landed. I am shocked. They upgraded. Way to go, Droneblocks. All right, 11:59. Sounds like that's my time. Thanks, Jeff. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Denny. I really appreciate you coming. Make sure you head over and watch The Journey of a Roboticist and enjoy the rest of the conference, everyone. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Z. Appreciate it. All right, it's noon, everybody. Go check out that Journey of a Roboticist. All right, there's my time. I'm signing out. Thanks, everybody.